Welcome everyone to the Art of Problem Solving in USA Olympiad webinar. Very excited for being able to go over this very important step in registration. We will be going over today how to navigate the USABO site on AoPS. So we're here with Mrs. Kathy Frim, the advisor and consultant of USABO. And it's also my pleasure to introduce our host, Devin Ware from the Art of Problem Solving. Before we get started with that, Mrs. Frame will first give an overview of these general steps. So
yeah, and we also have my assistant Olivia, all right, with us, Krakenfeldt. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea of some of the steps that relate the AoPS registration to the USABO exam. You need to make sure that your school is registered. That sounds simple, but some of you, we have a group of students, we have probably close to 100 and some still, Olivia, right? About 150 of them that don't have a school. And so we're trying to identify a host school for them. So just be patient with us. Olivia's working very hard to make sure that happens. And we hope to have that done in December. Along with the school being registered, it also has to have paid its registration fee for you to be able to register with Art of Problem Solving. So there are two things. So check with your test administrator, your teacher, to make sure that your school is registered and that the registration fee has been paid. You'll know it hasn't been paid if you go to log in and it says you can't access the account. All right. The next thing is make sure that your ID matches, the first 7 numbers of it matches your test administrator's ID. Right. If it doesn't, your registration's incorrect. You need to contact myself or Olivia, and you can do that at the USABO@cee.org. So in the next step, it shows you what those look like. Test administrator, you'll see the number is 123455001. A 011, that indicates your test administrator, but the first 3 numbers, the 123, that's the year of the exam. 0455 is the school code. And that never changes. Once your school has registered, that's the code that it has. The only thing that'll change from year to year is the first 3 digits. Like next year, it'll be 1240455. And the test administrator's ID will begin with a 011. Your ID, if you're a student, will have those same 7 digits in the front. And then yours will start with a 201 and going up to 215 or whatever the number of students are within yours. But make sure those first 7 numbers agree. If they don't, contact us and we'll get that straightened out for you. So register and make yourself an account with AoPS if you've not already done so. And Devin will go into that a little bit more. And the next one, register your USABO ID for an open exam on the AoPS when notified. You're going to send, you'll be receiving an email, December 13th is the date we've decided that you can register your USABO ID with Art of Problem Solving. And that is only if your school has paid the registration and your account is active. So we're going to send a block of students that have registered and their schools have paid on December 13th. The next time we'll send a block of students to register with AoPS will be January 16, all right, in time for a test exam on that. So make sure, don't worry if you don't get to register with them on the 13th through the 16th of January. There'll be another time. That's when all payments have to be in and everybody will have their opportunity to do that. And once you have that, AoPS will have a practice exam up there for you to work with. And that is a simulation of what the open exam is going to look like. I see some questions in Q&A. Okay, someone says, can you please walk us through registering as you can't register as an individual. You have to register with a school. All right, and students don't normally pay the fee. If you need help with that, make sure you contact the USABO about that. Right, and the others are just talking about registration. If we already paid through the school's USABO team, That counts as being paid, yes. Any other questions anybody has?
I believe most of the questions so far we will be answering throughout the webinar, so
Okay.
hold
All right.
on to the questions.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mrs. First. So now, again, as I mentioned in the chat, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A, the question and answer box. That way, we can look down through the list later at the very end after Devin's demonstration. That's when we'll go over the questions that we have. So now I'll turn it over to Devin to show how to use the Art of Problem Solving website.
All right, cool. Hi, guys. I'm Devin Ware. I work at Art of Problem Solving. I'm the online school director here. I've been at Art of Problem Solving since 2014 and been working with the USA Biology Olympiad for the last couple years since it went online. So what I'm going to do right now is sort of walk you through the AoPS website portion of registering for the exam and also taking the exam. And if you have any questions during that, just throw them into the Q&A. Like Leanne said, I'm going to be very happy to answer those. I'll try to just answer them verbally as I can, as I see them come in. Hopefully I'll just be sort of as clear as possible. So what I'm going to do is start sharing my screen on the AoPS website, show you what to do there, and we will take it from there. So here we go. So you can see here I am on Art of Problem Solving. So this is our homepage on AoPS. And this is basically the first page you're going to come to when you come to Art of Problem Solving. So you go to artofproblemsolving.com. This is where you're going to end up. Now, I'm not signed in or anything. And so one thing you're going to need to take this exam is to create an account. So the way to do that is you can click on this sign in register button. You see, I already have my username and password, but if you don't have one, you can click create an account. And it'll take you to this form. Now, this is not your account that's on the USABO or CEE website. This is a separate Art of Problem Solving account. If you already have one of those for other reasons, maybe you've taken a math class with us or another contest, or maybe you took the USABO last year. If that's already the case, you don't need to make a new account. You can just sign into the one you already have. But if this is your first time visiting Art of Problem Solving, you're going to need to go ahead and register an account. So that'll be your first step here. Just go on and register an account. If you've forgotten your username, then you can use this use password or username button here. Because I know some of you probably have created usernames in the past. Maybe you were here last year, like I said, or maybe you've taken a math class. Maybe you even took math counts or the AMC on Art of Problem Solving. So if you have an account here already, you can type in your email address and hope to retrieve it there. The most straightforward thing though is you're going to do is create an account. Now, once you've done that, once you have an account, what we're going to do is figure out how to navigate to the contest. So you're going to hover over this resources part of our website here. And you'll see there's a few contests listed, AMC, math counts, and other contests. We're going to click on other contests, and we're going to scroll down until we see upcoming events. And then you'll see USABO contest platform registration. Oh, awesome. That's exactly what we're looking for, right? We want to register for the USABO contest platform. So we'll go ahead and click on this little arrow, and that's going to take us to this homepage. Now, this is also a URL. You could just bookmark and go directly there if that's what you want to do. aops.com/contests/USABO. That'll take you right where you need to go. Now, as you can see on this page, there's nothing to do because registration doesn't open until Tuesday, December 13th. That's the message you're going to see here. You can go to the site right now if you want. It's going to say registration opens Tuesday, December 13th. So that'll be open there. Now, what I'm going to do quickly is open up a fake version of Art of Problem Solving that has registration open already. So this is going to be a totally fake website that's not real. But actually, first off, I saw somebody ask, should we register in AoPS right now or on December 13th? You know, if you do have a chance, you might as well just go on the Art of Problem Solving website now, create a username. Doesn't hurt. It's going to take you 10 minutes and you'll have that step knocked out. So just go ahead, sign on, create your username. Don't even need to worry about the USABO right now. Just go to our homepage, create a username with this button here, create account, and you're going to be happy. You'll have knocked out a step. You'll be on your way to registering, and you won't need to worry about that on December 13th when you're registering for the exam. So that's a really good idea. Go ahead and just do that now. And somebody asked when registration closes. Registration is going to go, I believe, until January 20th. Kathy, can you correct me if I'm wrong there?
Right, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. So that'll go until January 20th. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is jump over to the other website. But again, right now, what I encourage you to do is just go create an account. Don't worry about registration for the contest. Go and create an account. But now we'll go ahead and pop over here to our fake website. You can see it's fake because it's got this purple background. That's not what the real art of problem solving looks like. So purple means fake. So now we're going to go ahead and do that same navigation again, just so you can see it. We're going to go to this other contest. Scroll on down here, USABO contest platform registration. We're going to click that. But here on this fake website, it's actually open right now. So this is what the website's going to look like on December 13th. There's going to be this button that says register now. And this you can click on to register for the AoPS online platform. Now note that you do already need to be registered for the Biology Olympiad through the CEE to do this. This is just registering for the AoPS platform. Somebody says they need to memorize their USABO ID. Absolutely not. No, you just look it up when you're registering. You don't need to have that memorized. And somebody says, if both my sons are registering, should they have completely different accounts? Absolutely, yes. Everyone who is going to be taking this contest needs to have their own account. So one account to one competitor, because they're going to be sort of on their screen taking the exam. Okay. So now that we're here, we're pretending it's December 13th. So we see this register now button. We're going to go ahead and click that. Now, I wasn't signed in, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in with a fake account here. Let's sign in. And then it takes us to the USABO open exam registration. And you can see the key piece you need here is your USABO student ID. Now, this is going to be shared with you by the CEE. Kathy, I believe this says it's going to be emailed out. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you're going to receive your USABO student ID via email, and that's the key piece you need to actually register. So you sort of need two items. You need an AoPS account, which you can go create right now if you want to, and I encourage you to do so. Just go to aops.com, and then you'll see a little button at the top right to create an account. Do that, then you'll be happy to have something checked off your list. Second thing you need is your USABO student ID, and you'll get that through email from the CEE. Now I have a fake one here that I'm going to go ahead and use to register, which is that. And now let's go ahead and you can see this is from last year based off what Kathy said, because it's 122 instead of 123. But let's go ahead and submit. And you're going to get this confirmation. Are you sure this is your student ID? In this case, I'm pretty sure this is. So let's go ahead and register. And great, we're done. We're registered. We're good to go. That's all it takes to register for this contest. It is pretty straightforward. So that's what you're going to need to do. Now, are there any questions before I go to the next day? What I'm going to do is show you what the practice exam is going to look like. Does anybody have any questions in the meantime, before that, about the actual registration process? Somebody asked, how do I find my ID? So if you're talking about your USABO ID, that's going to be emailed out to you. If you're talking about your Art of Problem Solving account name, you're going to have to go create one just on the Art of Problem Solving website. If you don't remember it, you can use this forgot username or password feature here, and that will link it to your email, send you an email about that. Okay. Somebody else says, is it too late to register for the USABO exam through the registration is closed on the website? Kathy, is it too late to register for the USABO exam?
No, it isn't. As long as the school has already registered, okay? So they can contact me and I'll determine if they can do it.
Okay, yeah. So if your school is registered, you can still register. So that's great. When should we expect to receive an email with the ID, Kathy?
Probably you'll receive that about December 10.
December 10th. Okay, so December 10th, you'll receive an email with the ID. December 13th, that registration will open up at Art of Problem Solving. So somebody asked when AoPS USABO open exam registration will open. That'll be on December 13th. What date is the real exam? Azan says that would be February 2nd. Let's see. Where do we find the USABO competition on AoPS? Yeah, so let's just quickly go through that again. So you'll go to resources. Sorry, this Q&A is getting in my way. Other contests here. We'll scroll down. We'll click USABO contest platform registration, and that'll get us there. Now, if you also just want to remember the URL, it's this one right here, aops.com/contest/USABO. Okay. What time is the practice exam hosted? So we'll be hosting the practice exam in January.
Okay, there's a question on there I think is really important. It's that once I register and my school, oops, it says, can I go, if I don't have a school yet, can I register with AoPS? No, because you have to have an ID, USABO ID, and that ID has to be sent by USABO to AoPS.
That's right. As you saw, it's an important key step here. One of the things we needed was a USABO ID in order to register for the Art of Problem Solving platform. And you can only get that by being registered through a school, through CEE. And somebody asked if the contest will be pen and paper or on a computer. There'll be a computer version of the exam here, and that's why it's on the AoPS platform. Yeah, so the official exam will be through AoPS online. So now I'm going to go ahead and, speaking of that, show you what that's like, actually show you what that contest platform is like. So let me go ahead and switch what I'm sharing here. So give me 1 second to stop the share. And I'm going to reshare on a different screen right here. So this is another fake Art of Problem Solving website that actually has a practice exam open. This is a practice exam from last year, but this is roughly what it's going to look like this year as well. We don't even have the practice exam yet this year, so you're not getting any inside information here. This is old stuff from last year, but we're just going to quickly show what it's going to be like. So when the practice exam is open, you'll see this Start Practice button on your homepage for the contest. So you can just go ahead and click Start Practice. And what's going to be required is a passcode. This is the same on the practice exam and the live exam. You'll need a passcode. You'll receive that from your coach at your school. Is that correct, Kathy? The coaches will be getting the passcode? Yeah, I think that's correct. So you'll receive that passcode and you'll need to enter that here. So I have the passcode for last year's exam, last year's practice exam. So let's go ahead and click that in. We'll click submit. And we're here, we're getting going. And we can see this is the USABO practice competition. And somebody ask, can we use this practice exam as preparation? Oh, you should absolutely use the practice exam as preparation. That's a great idea. It would both prepare you for the contest problems, but also for the Art of Problem Solving interface. I think it's a really good idea to sit down, pretend this is a real competition, get used to what the setting is like. So that way you're not frazzled during contest day. You don't want the setting to be something that messes with you. You want to be comfortable. So go in, take this like a real contest beforehand and get yourself some practice. The practice exam will be released in January. But we can go take a look at this and you can see where look at these multiple choice questions. We go ahead and just click our bubbles here for what we want to do. We can see that we've answered 1 out of 50 questions here and we've got 49 minutes left to go. So that's, and sort of information about your contest is going to be up there on the top right as you go through. That's going to stick up there. You can go ahead and read the questions here, answer them. You can scroll up, scroll down if you want to just skip around. You can see lots of interesting problems on this exam, problems that I don't understand very well. I'm not a biologist, but I'm sure you guys are looking at this and thinking, oh, I know definitely what these statements about plant growth and development aren't correct. And you're feeling confident. That's great. Definitely come on here and do that. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and say, I'm done. That's all I'm going to get. And you see it says, are you sure you want to submit? This is important. If you click submit, you are done with the competition. And this is something that you don't want to do if you're not actually done, right? Because we have 48 minutes left. This would not be great if we clicked to submit. We clicked submit all when we still had some time and we wanted to work more. But so we could stay, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Right? So you're not submitting an individual problem. This submit is submitting your entire exam. Okay. And so I'll click submit all. I'm done. Congratulations, I've completed the practice exam. I can view my results. Let's see how we did. We scored a 0. Unfortunately, we were incorrect on the one problem that we answered, which is too bad. Somebody says, if time runs out, will it automatically submit? Yes, it will. Yeah, it'll automatically submit when time runs out. Okay. How do we sign into the fake AoPS website? You can't. You cannot get to the fake AoPS website. This is only available for this presentation. You'll be able to go on the real AoPS website to create your account and to take this practice competition. The practice competition will start in January. Registration will start on December 13th. That's correct. You can't register for the USABO until December 13th. You need your USABO ID to do that. and that'll be emailed to you on December 10th. But what thing you can do right now, and I encourage you to do, is just go create an Art of Problem Solving account. So let me go ahead and go back here to AoPS. What I encourage you to do, just go to AoPS.com. If you haven't yet, go on here, sign in, register, create an account. Get that step done. You can do that now. Then on December 13, you come back, you sign in, and all you need to do is enter your USABO ID that you got emailed. Super quick. It'll take you 30 seconds on that day. Somebody says, is there only one practice test? Yes, there's only going to be one practice test that we'll be releasing on the AoPS website. On the real exam, will we see our score? Not immediately, no. That's just for the practice exam. What else we got? How do I get the USABO ID? Great question. That's going to be emailed to you on December 10th. If you click submit button before time runs out, do the questions that you've answered save in your submission? Oh, if you don't click submit button. If you don't click submit button, everything you've answered will be saved when the time runs out. Yes. How do you know if your school has registered for the USABO? That's a great question for Kathy. How would I know if my school is registered for the USABO?
They should check with their test administrator. All right. Or if they have a USABO club, they should check with their president.
Okay, so yeah, check with the club at your school or your teacher, sort of ask around if they have registered. I have received my ID, but my school hasn't paid the fee. Can I still use that ID for AoPS registration? No, your school will need to have paid the fee in order to register.
This might be a question for Ms. Frim too. I think a lot of people are asking what they should do if they can't find their student ID or they lost.
Okay, their student ID. You should have received your student ID when you registered, right? It should have come back through your email. If you did not check your trash, all the other, parties where emails go, all right? And if you wish, you can contact the USABO. You should be able to have it. The process is once you fill out that form with your information, you immediately get a USABO ID number, and your password is whatever you use to create that when you registered.
Okay, and some people are asking if they could do the practice exam multiple times. No, the way we've set it up, you could only do it once and view your exam results. Now, if you are in really dire need to do it again, you want to get an extra practice, you can send us an email at info@artofproblemsolving.com, and we can help you out. We can reset that for you, but by default, it'll only be once. Let's see what else we've got here. Somebody says, do we receive our student ID December 10th, or did we already receive it? Kathy, maybe you can clear that up.
They've already received their student ID if they've registered, all right? And we'll verify that on when we send out the email December 10th, right? What that ID number is that we have for them that's going to go over to AoPS.
Okay, fantastic. So it's the same ID you've already received, but you're just going to receive another copy of it on December 10th confirming. And that's the one you'll use to register for AoPS.
And the other thing that's helpful is not to use your school email. If you can use your personal email, it's much better. The reason for that is we send out mass emails, like we have 8,000 that have registered. So as we send them in those pockets of 500, your firewalls at your school will prevent your email from coming through. So if you have a personal email, you should be using it.
Yes, fantastic idea. Somebody says if we have our user ID and are registered for the USABO, we're good. Yes, the one other step I would recommend is registering an AoPS account beforehand, just so you can get that out of the way and it's not something you need to worry about later.
In fact, they can do that now.
They can do that now and should. Yeah, just go to the AoPS website, click this button here, create your account. A lot of people are asking how we recommend to prepare for the exam. I'm definitely not the right person to answer that, but maybe actually Leanne or Kathy could answer that.
I think Leanne can help you on that one. She's president of her club and she's done a lot.
Leanne, how would you recommend preparing for the exam?
So if you go on the USABO website, there is a list of a lot of resources there that you can take a look at if you have a school club student group that you can join. That's also highly recommended. But there's a lot of resources on the USABO website, including links to other webinars that you can look at, or links to suggested resources that past alumni have suggested. So I would recommend taking a look at the website, especially in the student resource corner, which you should be able to access if you log into the USABO site.
Okay, I've got a couple of quick questions here. Dong Lu is asking me to quickly walk through opening the page in AoPS again. So I'll do that just as a quick reminder. So we'll go over here. Well, it's in resources. You'll see contests on AoPS and you'll click other contests because we're not the AMC or math counts here. And we'll see in December, the USABO contest platform registration here on the calendar of upcoming events. Just got to scroll down a little bit under the fold, click this button, bam, that'll take you to the page. This is the USABO page. You can also just type in this URL if you wanted to, aops.com/contest.com/contest/USABO. That'll take you right where you want to go. Somebody else says, I can't make an AoPS account because they won't let me choose the username. What username do I write? You can choose whatever username you want when you're creating an AoPS account, but it will need to be not already taken by somebody else, so just whatever username you want. Yeah, that's a bad username probably, but that would probably be accepted. Whatever you want, as long as it's not already taken by someone else, and of course, as long as it's not inappropriate. Also, we encourage you not to use your real name there, just because there are, posts on the community, etc. So try to use something other than that.
Someone's asking, are there restrictions if a student wants to register for both the USABO and apply for MIT RSI summer internship? Please register for the USABO, all right? You have to be one of 20 students out of 8,000, all right, to go to finals. That would limit your ability to go to MIT this summer.
Absolutely. That's a great problem to have if you do end up with that problem.
Yes.
Go ahead and register and take the USABO. Don't worry about that. You'll cross that bridge when you come to it.
Resetting your password, upper right-hand corner of the USABO homepage says, if you forgot your password, reset here, click.
Same here. If you're talking about AoPS, upper right-hand corner as well, forgot your password or username, boom, enter your email.
Okay, you don't register for the, they're asking about how you register for the exam, I think, on AoPS. You just went over that.
I think I may have missed that question, but yeah, to register for the exam on AoPS, what you're going to do is, we just saw it here, but there's a big register button. You'll click that and you'll type in your USABO user ID, USABO ID number, which you have already been shared, and you'll be emailed again on December 10th. That's all you need to do.
Would it be possible to give a rundown of all the important dates, including like when the email is sent, when the when the practice exam is open?
Yes, fantastic. Okay, so those important dates here, which actually are mostly listed on this page here, your USABO ID will be sent to you on December 10th, or you might already have it, but it'll be sent to you again on December 10th. The AoPS registration will open on December 13th. So on December 13th, you'll be able to come to AoPS and register from AoPS perspective. Then on January 16th, the practice competition will open. And on February 2nd will be the official competition. Are there any other dates that I'm missing there, Kathy?
I don't think so. It's good.
Okay, so that's sort of the important dates to remember. The other date to remember is today. You should go register for AoPS and just get your username out of the way. I signed up for AoPS account, but I haven't gotten the confirmation email yet. I might just take a minute. That's taking a look here through the questions. If you haven't received your student ID, does this mean you are not registered with the school? That's probably correct, Kathy. If you should have received.
Correct.
Yep, that's correct. You should have received it if you're registered with your school. So check on your school and register if you have not yet.
And Olivia can speak to this because she's working with the students that need a school. They have not registered. We have about 200 students that wanted to take the USABO, did not have a school. We're doing our very best to identify a host school to take those students. They have not officially registered. Once we've identified a host school, they'll be sent a link to register with that particular school. We hope to get all of them, all right, with schools.
Yep, fantastic. So hopefully everyone can get in. We really do want everyone who wants to take the exam to be able to take it because it's a fantastic opportunity. So hopefully Olivia will be able to help you out there. Somebody else mentions if they've done everything, they've got their USABO ID, they've made an AoPS account, they know where to go to register when it's December 13th. Can they leave the webinar? Yeah, absolutely. You have all the information you need. You're good to go. That's all you need. Okay, where can we access this recording later? Leanne, do you have that link?
This will be uploaded on the.
So it'll be on a CE YouTube channel, and they'll get an email about that.
It'll be on the USABO homepage.
USABO.
Just click on it.
Fantastic.
Any last minute questions? Feel free to contact any of us. Okay, one thing I want to make sure everyone understands is during the exam, don't contact the USABO about the exam structure. You need to contact Art of Problem Solving. They're the ones that can answer your questions about the exam itself, not the content, but how the mechanics of it. Correct, Devin?
That is correct. Yep. Then that email will be on the screen for you if there's some issue happening to you. And it'll be on the screen during the practice competition as well, which is why I strongly encourage you to take that practice competition like it's a real competition beforehand. So that way, if you run into any hiccups, any technical issues, it's going to happen during the practice competition. You can reach out to us and we can help you figure them out. You don't want to be dealing with that during the live competition. Not that I think you're going to run into any hiccups or any issues, but better be safe than sorry, right? You'd rather do that during the practice competition. So take that practice competition, take it seriously, and make sure you don't run into any technical issues there. Somebody mentioned they made a username at AoPS and used their real name, and I encourage them not to. Do they need to delete it? It's okay. You can use your real name. It's just it's encouraged not to, but it's totally fine.
Okay, here's a question. It says the unique ID to log into the CE site is not the same as the USABO student ID. It is the very same thing. Right, so it would be 123-4440-210, whatever yours is.
That's right. Kenneth Wang says, all we have to do is register for AoPS and have our USABO ID ready. That's exactly right, Kenneth. You have gotten my message. Register for AoPS, have your USABO ID ready. You're good to go.
Remember, they're going to come in 2 pods, all right? So if your school has registered and paid by December 13th, that's the first pod. And then the second pod of registrants and the last one will be on January 16th.
Ask if the AoPS email can be different from the email they use to register for the USABO site.
It can, yes. The AoPS email can be whatever you want it to be.
Would it be able to maybe put your contact email, any contact email that they should contact in the chat? And
yeah, fantastic. I can put that in the chat right now. Let me just get the chat open to everyone. So if you have any issues or questions about this, you can email this address. That's the best place to email, info+contests@aops.com. Shoot us a message. We'll get back to you pretty quickly. If you have questions about the art of problem solving section. Now, if you have questions about registration through the CEE, etc., you should email the link that Kathy sent there, usabo@cee.org. So those are definitely the 2 places to go. Will the practice exam and your answers be available to see after you submitted it? Yes, they will. Yeah, you'll be able to review it. You'll be able to review your answers. Absolutely.
someone asked if there's a way to check whether they have been registered successfully. I'm not sure if that's for
Do they mean AoPS?
At AoPS, when you register, if you go to this page here, AoPS.com contest USABO, if you're registered, you're just going to see a big message that says you're registered. And that's what it'll say. Let me see if I can find an example of that on one of my other pages here. Yeah, let me share my other screen instead. Stop, share screen. It'll look something like this if you're registered. This is for last year's, but you'll just see this message. You are registered. That's what it's going to say if you're registered. So if you see that, you're good. If you don't, then you're probably not registered. Instead, you'll see a button that says register. So that's how you can check on AoPS.
Oh, this question is for our problem. Someone asked if AoPS Online is different from the Academy.
Yeah, fantastic question. So AoPS Academy is our in-person learning centers associated with Art of Problem Solving. So they're linked with us. We work with them, of course. They are just our in-person centers. That's sort of the difference. AoPS Online is just our online wing. Someone says they can't find the registration button. That's because registration opens on December 13th. So there is no button yet. Right now, what you're going to see is just this thing that says registration will open on December 13th. When can we expect scores for the open exam to come out? I have no idea.
Usually it'll be at like the first part of March, if we're
March.
lucky. Yeah.
What do they do if their school has not been approved, Kathy?
If the school hasn't been approved, all they need to do is contact their test administrator and have them pay the registration fee. And in some cases, students or parents will pay the registration fee, and then your school is activated, they call it, and then your account is ready to go.
Someone asked if they have already registered with their school email, should they create another account or delete their account?
I think they can actually go in and change it themselves. Don't start another account, okay? It can be changed on this side. I can either change it or Olivia can change it, all right? But I think they can also go into their account and change it, and edit the information.
Somebody's asked if they should do the practice test with the test administrator or by themselves. You can do it by yourself, but what I do encourage you is to be in a situation as close to your situation on the real exam as you can. That way you sort of are really prepared, you know, if anything could possibly go wrong. So if you're going to take it at your school, etc., I would recommend you try to do the practice exam there as well. But you can access it at home or anywhere you want. You don't need to have your proctor there for the practice exam.
And that's a good point as well. Some schools will be proctoring remotely and some will be proctoring in person, all right? So you need to make sure you're got all of your instructions from your test administrator.
That's right. So confer with your test administrator whether you're going to be proctoring in the classroom, through Zoom at your house, and whatever you're doing, that's what you should do for the practice exam as well. So that way you're really fully prepared for the exact experience. Where could you find practice AoPS exams? That's going to be on this same page, aops.com/contest/USABO, but it'll be made available in January 16th. There'll just be a nice little link here to start the practice exam.
So just to check, the practice USABO exam is open for a longer period of
Correct.
time.
It's open from January 16th up until the day before the exam. So you just find any time that works for you to do that practice in that window. Encourage you, of course, to do it earlier so that you're well prepared. And if you have any issues come up, you can send an email to us at the email I linked in the chat, info+contests@aops.com. But of course, whatever time works for you is totally fine. Somebody asked, what is the AoPS competition? Is it different from USABO? The USABO will be on artofproblemsolving.com for the official exam, if that's what you're asking. This will be the USABO here. Are there any past released practice exams that we could take now? Not through the AoPS platform, no. Outside of the AoPS platform, I don't know, perhaps Kathy could answer that.
We have some in the student corner that they can practice, all right, online and have the answers and all of that up through 2019, I believe is what it is, or 20.
Fantastic. Those are on the USABO website.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked if they have an AoPS account and have everything for the USABO set in terms of registration, are they free to go? Yeah, that sounds like you are good to go. That is everything. I've been keep summarizing that. That's what you need. AoPS account, have your USABO ID, be ready on December 13th to just type in that USABO ID. The USABO exam will be held on AoPS. That's correct. It'll be held on AoPS. So it'll look just like the practice exam that I opened up earlier. So do that ahead of time so you are well prepared. After we register through the AoPS website, that means we are done with the registration process and we are good to take the competition. That's correct. Yes, all you'll need is to make sure you have the password shared with you by your administrator.
And they're asking if time runs out, will it automatically submit? It stops.
Yep. So when the time runs out, your answers are going to be submitted. Whatever you've clicked by that time will be submitted and good to go. The USABO ID is the one you get from registering on the USABO website, not the AoPS website. Says autonomous attendee. That's correct. Yes. On the AoPS website, you can register whatever username you want. On the USABO website, you'll be given a very specific ID. That ID is what you're going to use to link your AoPS account with your USABO registration.
So just to check with this from if they have received their student ID, does that mean that they are successfully registered, or?
It means that they have registered as a student, all right? If they can log in with that ID and their password, that means their account has been paid, all right? And that will be one of those numbers that I will be sending over to AoPS.
Fantastic.
Also, just sorry to check again. So all the students' USABO IDs, if they aren't able to find it, that will be resent to the successfully registered students.
The ones that we'll send are the ones that have a paid registration for their schools.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones we know will be accepted over at the AoPS site.
If you're all set, you'll get an email on December 10th. That'll send you your ID that you're going to use on the AoPS website on December 13th. What is the time at which the exam will be conducted on February 2nd?
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern.
And depending on who your test administrator is, Some of them are starting like at 3:30 just to prepare and get ready.
Okay, awesome. Are there any other last minute questions? It looks like we've gotten through most of the questions here. Just take a quick look at what's answering there. But if you have any last minute questions, you can go ahead and shoot them in the chat. But also remember that you can email us. So if you have questions about registration at the USABO website or registering your school, etc., then you should go ahead and email to usabo@cee.org. If you have extra questions about the Art of Problem Solving website or how to link your account there, you should email info+contests@aops.com.
And this will be a YouTube link on the USABO homepage if you want to see it again.
Yep. Fantastic. All right. I think that's about it. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you all get settled in. Hopefully you all go and register an AoPS account today, so you're good to go. And you'll get registered on December 13th. Any last minute words from Leanne or Kathy?
Thank you very much, Devin. All right. And know that you'll get your ID number on the 10th, but you won't be able to register with AoPS until the 13th of January. Okay.
Of December.
That's December. Sorry.
13th of December, you will be able to register.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Have a good
Fantastic.
evening.
Thank you all again, folks. Have a great night.
All right.
And have fun. It's important. Make sure you're enjoying yourself, enjoy your biology, enjoy your practice exam.
And good luck.
That's right. Awesome.